Hello, trumpet players. All right, this is a video explanation of line number 120, Home on the Range, which is a really cool song. It ties a lot of things together that we've done previously. Okay, so if you look at it, you'll notice it's got slurs, it's got quarter notes, it's got half notes, it has eighth notes, it has dotted quarter eighth notes, and it has forte and piano going back and forth. So there's a lot going on with this piece of music. It also has at the beginning the note that comes before the first full measure of the piece of music, which they've talked about before, called that's right, the pickup note. I feel like I'm on Blue's Clues or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to count myself in. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and I'm going to play the whole thing. And then we'll talk about it a little bit to give you a little bit of idea as to how to go about working on this to get this to work for you. All right, here I go, Home on the Range. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and I actually realized I made one error in, well, nothing is ever totally perfect, but I did make one error in the slurs in that, and I wonder if you guys might be able to spot it. At the end of the lesson, if I remember, I will talk to you about it. All right, so now, Home on the Range, again, it uses a lot of stuff. Now, the first thing that we got to just make sure we do is that when we have slurs, we want to make sure that our rhythms are accurate. All right? A lot of times with slurs, people tend to rush them. And so the key thing, you got to keep that foot tapping and make sure the notes get their correct rhythmic value. All right, so looking right at the beginning, I'm going to tap my foot and say the notes, and I'm going to leave the slurs out. And I'll just do the first phrase in that manner. So that means up to the first breath mark. I'm going to try to sing the notes on pitch. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it does help if you can, especially with a brass instrument, because what it does is gets your ear going and you can hear the sound of the notes in your head a little bit better. All right. So, but if you have trouble singing on pitch, as long as you say the syllables and tap your foot, that's the main thing for right now. So again, I'm going to do the first phrase without any slurs. Oh, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ta 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 ta, ti ti ta ta. So there's that first phrase, right? Now, what I'd recommend you do first is work on that bit and make sure your rhythm is correct and your pitches are correct, all right? You can also work through the notes like saying this way, C, C, F, G, A, F, E, D, D, B flat, B flat, B flat. Sorry about that. Okay, so you get the idea is you practice saying it as well as pushing the buttons. All right? And then what you do, make sure that's accurate. All right, once you got it down, then you can add the slurs. By the way, the third measure has the dotted quarter eighth rhythm, which was just introduced on the previous page, starting in line 113. So I always like to tell students, think ta for the dotted quarter. The ta is the quarter note, and the ah is the dot. That's the extra half beat, followed by a T when your foot comes up, and then in this case, it's followed by another quarter note. So the third measure goes ta, ti, ta. And actually, I'll show you my foot. Watch. Gotta see if this stays put. Oopsies. Here you go. So you see my foot, right? Ta, ti, ta. Okay, watch again. Ta, ti, ta. And when I play it, okay, do you see how that worked? I'll do it again. All right, and you want to make sure you get that right. That dotted quarter eighth rhythm is very important. All right, so then assuming that you can play it tongued, then what you do is you slur it. All right, and then you just practice that until you kind of get it to go. Now the next section, not only is it different, but it also has a different dynamic. All right, so again, I'm going to sing this on pitch. This is the second phrase, which goes up to the quarter rest. All right, so listen how that goes. I'll count myself 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, because again, we're coming in on the third beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ti ti ta, ti ti ta 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 ta. Almost ran out of air. All right, so that's how I would sing it and tap my foot. Again, you can do this. A, B flat, C, F, 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 E, F, G. And again, with those notes, you want to make sure you give them their correct length, all right? After you can do that, then try playing it without the slurs. And also play it softly. What you do after you can do that and keep your foot steady, then you slur. All right, so that should give you a good start on that one. The next phrase is identical to the first. The last phrase is different. So again, if you go through the process of singing it, and then doing the buttons, playing it without the slurs, and then playing it with the slurs, it should work, right? So I'm not going to do the third phrase because it's the same as the second, but here goes with me singing in my best singing voice, the last phrase. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ti ti ta, ti ta 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 ta. Rest, all right? And B flat, A, G, F, E, F, G, F, rest. And now with the slurs. I probably played that a little too loud now that I thought of it. On trumpet particularly, when you play soft, sometimes it's harder to get those high notes, like to play a C, because you do need a faster air speed. So that's something that's going to take a little bit of work. The intent right now, you want to make sure that you do make a difference in the dynamics so that the forte sounds significantly louder than the piano, all right? All right, so there you have Home on the Range. Have at it. And so let's see if you figured out where that boo-boo was. I'm thinking on the second line, second measure, I slurred the F and the E, but I continued slurring it to the D. Now, I might have made some other mistakes too, I don't know, but that kind of just caught my ear when I was doing it. All right, so have fun, practice hard, rewind this as many times as you need to, and say bye to Nick. Bye, Nick. Nick is sleeping. He likes to sleep, and he likes to chase balls.